Good morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Wednesday, January 28th, 2026, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp channels. We begin with the headline story in today's Nassau Guardian, focusing on major developments announced for Grand Bahama following a cabinet meeting on the island. Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis announced that the government intends to assume control of the Grand Bahama Power Company with the stated goal of bringing electricity rates on the island in line with those across the rest of the country. While the announcement was positioned as a significant step toward fairness and affordability, specific details of the agreement, including ownership and financial arrangements, were not disclosed. The Prime Minister also announced the start of Phase 1 of a $100 million redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport. This phase is expected to deliver a modern terminal capable of handling up to 500,000 passengers annually, with room for future expansion. Preparatory works are said to be moving from planning into physical activity on the ground. In addition, MSC Cruises will develop a new cruise ship pier and berthing area at Billy Cay in Freeport, along with visitor and commercial infrastructure. The project is being promoted as a major boost for tourism, jobs, and investment on the island. However, uncertainty remains around the Grand Lucayan Resort. While the Prime Minister said the government is making steady progress, he provided little clarity on the status of the sale, describing it as a complex transaction. The lack of specifics continues to concern many Grand Bahamians who have been awaiting concrete movement on the long-stalled property. Turning now to crime, Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles reported a significant improvement in national crime statistics for 2025. Overall crime declined by 15%, while murders fell by 31%, the largest percentage decrease ever recorded by the Royal Bahamas Police Force. There were 83 murders last year, down from 120 in 2024. Crimes against the person, including armed robberies and sexual offenses, also declined across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and the Family Islands. The Commissioner credited sustained policing efforts while noting ongoing challenges such as traffic fatalities and new drug trends. The Commissioner also responded strongly to comments made by a U.S. attorney who claimed the Bahamas is plagued by corruption. She rejected the remarks, saying one individual's actions should not define the integrity of the country or its law enforcement agencies. In health and labor news, the Bahamas Nurses Union is advising its members not to work overtime unless payment is guaranteed. This follows a tense meeting with the Public Hospitals Authority over a new overtime approval policy. The Minister of Health says discussions are ongoing to resolve the issue and ensure workers are paid. In court news, 2 men and 3 teenage boys have been charged following a violent incident at a high school that left a principal injured while trying to stop an attack. In another case, an appeal date has been set for a father convicted of incest after delays caused by missing transcripts. On a lighter community note, Woodcock Primary School students are preparing for this week's Junior Junkanoo Parade, and young scholars competed in the Catholic Archdiocesan Spelling Bee, celebrating academic excellence. Now to the editorial. The Nassau Guardian editorial argues that while the Grand Bahama announcements sound promising, they lack transparency and detail. It calls for published agreements, clear timelines, and accountability, particularly regarding energy reform, airport redevelopment, and the unresolved status of the Grand Lucayan Resort. The editorial warns that Grand Bahamians remain understandably skeptical after years of unmet promises. In today's letters to the editor, one writer cautions that political loyalty is increasingly rewarded more than productivity, creating a culture of dependency that undermines national progress. Another urges West End voters to hold their MP accountable for campaign promises that remain unfulfilled. Both letters stress accountability, transparency, and real delivery. Before we close, we invite you to purchase a copy of today's Nassau Guardian or visit their website to read the full and additional stories in today's edition. As we end this broadcast, remember this quote, "Knowledge is power, but staying informed is how a nation stays strong." Enjoy your day, be blessed, and be a blessing.